Imagine having to peel all those prawns.
It hurts. Anyway, it really does. Hello everyone, welcome to the Jimquisition, a show that I do on the internet. We have got quite a touchy subject to talk about, one that happened very recently. It wasn't going to be about this subject this week, but hey, what can you do? Before we crack on though, I would just like to let you know that video game reviews are back. I decided I missed writing after taking many years away, so our first review is up on thejimquisition.com. The first review I've written in years. It's for Dreamlight Valley because I have a shitload to say about that. And our next review, which should be up tomorrow if you're watching this on the Monday, will be for Scorn because I've got a shitload to say about that. Anyway, to the business of the day. Bayonetta 3, and yeah, some shit went down about that one.
Now it's time to be naughty.
Bayonetta is one hell of a series, perhaps the perfect distillation of Platinum Games' penchant for the stylishly ridiculous. Its extravagant absurdity has earned just as much love as the visually stunning, gratifyingly tactile gameplay. I've been looking forward to Bayonetta 3 for a while now because, well, the first game was delightfully bonkers and the sequel was a beautiful gameplay improvement on top of all that silliness. Since my ADHD means I lack a sense of object permanence and therefore forget the existence of anything not directly in front of me, it's been a recurring surprise to see Bayonetta 3 listed on various digital storefronts every time I load them up. With the game's imminent arrival, my excitement has increased, and I've gathered you all here today to say something very special indeed. Fuck Bayonetta 3.
Hello, my name's Hellena Taylor, and I am the voice of Bayonetta, and I would like to explain to you why I didn't voice Bayonetta 3. The Bayonetta franchise made an approximated $450 million. As an actor, I trained for a total of 7.5 years. The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US. I didn't want the world. I didn't ask for too much. I was just asking for a decent, dignified living wage. What they did was legal, but it was immoral.
Well, I said fuck Bayonetta 3, but the topic is more nuanced than that. It's more a case of fuck the industry, because what's happening here isn't exactly all that unique to this one particular situation. That doesn't justify it, it just means there are a lot more establishments to damn than Platinum Games and Nintendo. But first, obviously I side with Hellena Taylor on this one for the most part. Obviously. It's me. Let's discuss why though, and then discuss the problem that's led to this situation. Bayonetta is an iconic character indeed. Proper iconic, not Ubisoft iconic. From the way she plays to the way she looks. Adding to that unmistakable style is, without a shadow of a doubt, her voice. Bayonetta's sassy librarian's tone sounds like no other video game protagonist, an exquisitely camp performance by Hellena Taylor that suited both the character and the game down to the chuffing ground.
I'm not one for pets who don't listen to their masters.
Oh, mummy. That she was offered a paltry $4,000 to reprise a role she made her own should be stunning. Should be. For a professional source of income, especially these days, it's barely going to make 2 months' rent. When it comes to undervaluing actors in games, it's not just money either. Before Taylor spoke up, the official line from director Yusuke Miyata was that Taylor had been replaced due to various overlapping circumstances. A non-statement so fishy even Dagon thinks it stinks. Actors are treated as disposable, like another can always be picked off the rack. It's disrespectful to an entire fucking profession. The fact that game studios believe they can just replace any actor and it doesn't matter smacks of arrogance. It's a downright artless lack of appreciation for what a good vocal performer can bring to make a character their own. But it's happened plenty of times over the years. I mean, whether you think it was a good idea to replace him with Kiefer Sutherland or not, the fact David Hayter isn't even given a bit part somewhere in the finale to Hideo Kojima's run of Metal Gear games after all those years of being the voice of Snake is so fucking shitty. And according to Hayter himself, MGS5 wasn't the first time he was set up to be replaced, it was just the first that followed through. He had to re-audition for Snake Eater and even Metal Gear Solid 4, and has said they attempted to replace him each time but couldn't find a voice match. It certainly seems like Kojima, in his desperation to feel like he makes movies, always would rather have had someone more famous to brag about. And when you care about your work as much as Hayter does, to the point he personally fought to reunite as much of the original MGS cast as possible for the Twin Snakes remake, that shit hurts. I was so annoyed by the Metal Gear 5 debacle, explained Hayter in 2016. And people said, "Are you gonna play the game?" Yeah, that'll be 60 hours of humiliation that I can't get to. I haven't played the latest 2 iterations because it's just too painful. It's fucking tragic that that's how David Hayter's relationship with Metal Gear Solid ended. Humiliation and pain. But voice actors aren't respected enough for that to matter. And while we're here, let's talk about Hideki Kamiya. The executive director, in the wake of Hellena Taylor's statement, has behaved, with all due respect, like an utter twat. Sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all I can tell now, by the way.
Beware of my rules.
Yeah, a little bit self-aggrandizing. Now, Kamiya's rules are that he will block you on Twitter if you so much as fucking look at him. And rather than engage with anybody talking about this, that's what he did. He blocked individuals, he blocked publications, he blocked and blocked and blocked and blocked over the course of Saturday night to such an extreme degree of ferocity and speed that Twitter blocked his account, thinking it was spam. His behaviour in response to all of this has simply been fucking pathetic. So, back to Hellena and the money. A lump sum of $4,000 sounds like a lot on its own, but when you consider that's one single payment for a massive amount of performing work with no further money on the line, it's not just small but minuscule compared to other entertainment sectors. I've been paid more for a lot less contract work in my time, and nobody with actual talent should be making less than me for doing more. Now, like I said earlier, it's not entirely Nintendo and Platinum's fault. This is an industry-wide issue, and SAG-AFTRA, the union that represents gaming's voice actors, has a lot of blame to shoulder as well. The union has been criticised in the past for not negotiating better deals for video game voice actors. In fact, as we'll discuss in a moment, it's been criticised for an incredibly long time. As insulting as it is to be offered $4,000 and no royalties by any leading actor's standards in other media, in gaming, it's actually pretty standard rate. Does this mean Nintendo and Platinum are off the hook? No. In doing the bare minimum, they're maintaining this shitty status quo at best. Still, this shouldn't be framed entirely as a boycott of Bayonetta 3 without emphasising that better benefits and compensation is needed across the board, and it most assuredly is needed.
Off with their heads, eh?
Video games make a tremendous amount of money, despite how many industry propagandists justify aggressive monetization by pretending they don't. Like Taylor points out, Bayonetta as a series has made roughly $450 million, not including merchandise, and that's something not a single performer, not a single person who helped bring its money-making characters to life see a dime of. As Taylor also points out, this is illegal. It's what corporations in the game industry can do, and often actors have to agree or fuck off. That does not make it okay. However, It is not okay to treat actors as disposable, to believe your games are so high and fucking mighty that they can replace performers in iconic roles and it simply doesn't matter. It is not okay to pay these professionals peanuts compared to what the companies themselves are raking in. And it is, sadly, a problem that goes back a long, long, long way. I have an incredible memory for industry bullshit, and I remember all the way back in 2008 when the voice actor of Nico Bellic in Grand Theft Auto 4, Michael Holick, pointed out what a fucking sham it was that neither he nor his fellow workers saw a single thin dime of the millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that game made for Rockstar and Take the Piss Interactive. Obviously, I'm incredibly thankful to Rockstar for the opportunity to be in this game when I was just a nobody, an unknown quantity, said Holick at the time. But it's tough when you see Grand Theft Auto 4 out there as the biggest thing going right now, when they're making hundreds of millions of dollars and we don't see any of it. I don't blame Rockstar, I blame our union for not having the agreements in place to protect the creative people who drive the sales of these games. Yes, the technology is important, but it's the human performances within them that people really connect to, and I hope actors will get more respect for the work they do within those technologies. Was he wrong? If I recall correctly, Holick caught some shit for saying all this in 2008. He got called greedy, got called ungrateful, but was he actually fucking wrong? No. Everything he said was bang on the money. GTA as a series loves to act like it's the blockbuster movie franchise of video games, but it treated the people responsible for bringing its memorable characters to life as anything but blockbuster-grade talent. As the New York Times pointed out back then, Michael Holick would have made millions off the back of Grand Theft Auto 4's success had that success been for a TV show, a movie, a book, or an album, if it had been pretty much any form of entertainment that wasn't a video game. But because video game performers were treated like lesser, and clearly still are, they're not afforded the same benefits as others doing the exact same work and often far less work. That their unions still aren't negotiating better contracts is frankly appalling. 2008 was 14 fucking years ago, and literally nothing has improved. But hey, compared to Hellena Taylor, Michael Holick still made an absolute fortune, having been paid $100,000 for his work compared to her paltry offer of $4,000. And we went through all this in 2015 as well. Remember the Performance Matters movement? They had an entire strike about this. Whatever did that amount to that we're still having talent treated like replaceable nobodies? Clearly very little. I wonder how many watching this video now even remember the movement at all. Performance matters. I agreed with the sentiment 7 years ago, and I adamantly stand by it today. What would Telltale's The Walking Dead be without that fucking amazing cast of vocal talent bringing some genuine fucking acting chops to the table? Would Andrew Ryan's infamous question be one of the most famous quotes in video game history had a lesser man than Armin Shimmerman asked it? And I dare say that for all its plaudits and critical acclaim, The Last of Us would have been a lot less meaningful had Ashley Johnson's Ellie and Troy Baker's Joel not been so fucking pitch perfect. And I say that with the acknowledgement that Baker is an industry suck-up. He might be a straight-up fucking ladder puller, but his talent deserves fucking respect. Respect for art is in short supply in the video game industry, no matter how many publishers pay lip service to it. This profit-driven purveyor of products is too executive-led to truly give a shit about artistic merit and is too cynical, too vapid, too obsessed with money to so much as understand the value of real talent. It's absolutely sickening that in the 14 years since this lack of due appreciation was first brought to the mainstream conversation, not a damn thing has changed. Sickening, but like everything with this fucked up and nasty little business, not surprising in the least. And I know that some developers are looking at this and are thinking, well, why should voice actors get royalties and better pay when we, the developers, do not? Yeah, that's why you need a fucking union. A better one than SAG-AFTRA. To boycott or not to boycott? That is one of several questions. Hellena Taylor has requested that people boycott Bayonetta 3 and give that money to charity instead. That is an interesting proposition and not one that I'm going to say is wrong per se. I will offer that due to some of the things we said in today's video, if you boycott Bayonetta 3 for undervaluing voice actors, you do kind of have to boycott literally every single mainstream game. certainly every single one that pays union rate, which is most of them. Again, I'm not exonerating Nintendo and Platinum. Fuck the pair of them. Each one has blood on their hands. No, it's not true. Not blood, but they're dickish in their own ways. I mean, like I've always said here, it's morally okay to pirate all of Nintendo's video games. Also, Babylon's Fall was really shit. That closed down already. Well done, Platinum! So yeah, I am not too sure about the boycott myself. Whether or not I will be playing the game remains to be seen. After all, I review video games now, / again. But overall, the point remains, performance matters, plus something capitalism bad. Maybe make some fireworks come out my hands when I do that. That'd be fun, be fun treat for the kids, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that's all the point that needs to be made. Thank God for me, I suppose. God, now I'm gonna say some things about Scorn.